She created this video clip, and I'm reposting this or sharing this from Instagram.
If in 1963, all of us, all our elders knew that they were Indian, the question is, why didn't they tell the generations after that what their birthright was? Even though we may not like what has become of what our ancestors left us, it's up to every generation in their truth to make a stand and make a change. But we don't have a right to deny the future generations the inheritance of life given to them because of the mistakes of our ancestors in the past. We need to take stock in who we are. Now, why haven't we taken stock? Because we haven't taken a moment as a people to understand why we are being oppressed.
Again, all of these videos that I'm sharing are simply for educational purposes only. Clearly, I didn't put them together, and I want to make that very, very apparent. I have so much information, so many books, not physical. I have some physical books, I do, but I have a lot of PDF style books. So much information that it's undeniable. Nobody can talk me out of knowing who I am at this point. And nobody should be able to talk you out of it either, because if you are a so-called African American, 98% of us, our ancestors did not come from Africa. They didn't. And that was hard for me because, I mean, you all saw my ancestry videos. You all saw me with the I have nothing against African people at all. And I don't think that I gave that impression in this video, but I want to make that very clear. Growing up, we used to say, you know, I'm from Northeast DC, okay? And these are my people, like this is my street. You know, those people over there, no disrespect, but that's just not my people. Like that's them over there, you know?
Okay, I'm Tasha She, and like you were saying, I do a lot of genealogy work, research on history, and trying to figure out and connect the pieces on who we are. So to answer Lisa's question, when did I figure out that we weren't African Americans? It took me a while because I was in denial, and like I told y'all before, some of y'all before, I was a straight grandma killer because my grandma told me at 8 years old that we weren't from Africa. Because I specifically asked her, and she was a dark-skinned woman, so I'm like, I'm gonna ask the darkest person in my family, you know, about Africa. And she laughed at me. She was like, baby, we're not African. She's like, those are beautiful people, but that's not our people. We're from here. And we always been here. So that kind of was like, okay, this lady's crazy. And then she was talking from migrated up from Mexico and all these stories about like what Anu was talking about, the time reset that happened. She was saying a lot of the history is not real. They went back and they changed a whole lot of history. They reset time basically. So a lot of the stuff that I thought she was crazy, me and my brother would laugh. We still joke about it, but all this research, I'm finding out that she was right. And a lot of people who identify as African American today are not really African, just like Carrie Davis has been saying for years, and people have been questioning that. But all of us can be wrong. All of us. Once you do your genealogy, you're going to find out who you are and who the people that we are connected to back in time. A lot of us, even if we are American Indians, we have connection to royal bloodlines in Europe, you know, and those people were not white people either. They look just like us. So that's the connection that we are putting together. And then they try to tell us that we're mixed. It's like Anu was saying, and a lot of those people that they say we're 12% European, those people were not so-called white people at all. So we, in this process of doing our genealogy, putting our family trees together, that is one of the main keys to putting all the pieces together on what's going on and why they're doing this stuff to us. Okay, and that's part of the answer and part of the solution on what we should be doing moving forward. Getting our families together, getting prepared, like you said, with the solar panels, getting all this information together so we know how to move forward and we can't be asking the question, what's next? Because you're supposed to know what's next for you and your family. And then as a unit, all of us come together and figure out what's next.
Chamachesk Chame, Nutara Wings, Remington. Near Dunape. Greetings, all friends. My name is Remington. I am an Aboriginal. For me, my ancestral line included a mixture of tribes, which is very common, especially after the colonizers arrived and everything. In regards to indigenous blood, I am a proud descendant of Powhatan people, Siouan and Creek. And before you pass judgment, I dare you, I challenge you, I encourage you, I highly recommend that you do your research. For my fellow indigenous people, and you're gonna learn that everybody that's skin folks ain't kin folks, okay? Just because they're wearing the same